Hello and welcome back to Crawf's Cards and Collectables. Today we have a special look at something that's actually not mine. I've been lent someone else's collection. We have a Caitlin Clark collection today by my favourite daughter-in-law, Kel. She has this very fancy couple of cases that she has lent me for today's video, and we'll jump straight into it. So in this case we have basically a bunch of sports cards. You can see there it's full. It's actually got some of my granddaughter's cards in the back there as well. Maybe we'll have a little look at them. I might show you some of the more special stuff. So we've basically got a massive rookie card collection here. For those who have been living in a cave and don't know who Caitlin Clark is, she's the world's best women's basketballer. Apparently, me even saying that, Kel tells me we'll get the haters out there hating me. So be it. Don't really care. She has taken the world by storm. So this one here is what's called a Bowman Now card. So these are a special print card that the company Bowman, which I believe is Topps, probably says it on the back there somewhere. Yep, there you go. It's a Topps product. Basically, they bring these out to mark special occasions. So this one here, she sets the record for points scored in a season, which they're probably all based on that because that's what her major claim to fame is in her university college time. She was a freak and broke the record for the most number of points. So this one's a BGS 9.5, Gem Mint, their version of a PSA 10. If we want to talk, it is actually a 10. Bugbear there, but yeah, nice card. So we'll try and stack these up along here as best we can. Another one, basically, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, this one says breaks Maravich's all-time NCAA scoring record. I figure that's potentially the same situation. Maybe she broke the record and then she re-broke it somehow. I don't know, but potentially this is just a different card celebrating the same milestone. This one's a BGS 9. Got 10 on the centering there. You can see how they do their little subgrades, which is quite cool. This one got let down on surface. It got an 8.5. Get my finger out of the way, it'll be a bit clearer. Otherwise, it was a 10 on centering. Could have been a gem mint. Maybe if we got that out and we gave it a little wipe down, maybe it'd get a 10 or a 9.5, whatever. All right, here's the actual milestone card that got mass produced. Is this a Topps Now? This is actually a Topps Now card as well. Sorry, tell a lie. So these were literally specially produced. So that's what she finished the season with. So this one was probably printed a little bit later. Not sure where to put all these. So again, another one. This is not a Bowman. This is actually a Panini card. So this is a different company celebrating the same milestone. Both 10s. Lovely. On the SGC. They call this a tuxedo card. I was kind of really happy. I think I got this one graded, actually. I didn't buy this one. I got most of these I got graded. So we either purchased these cards and then got them graded, or potentially we pull same amount of packs. This particular company I got quite keen on, mainly because they're quick turnaround times and they're not overly priced. The biggest problem that annoys me is they're a very different looking case, hence they're called the tuxedo. It's like the black suit and then the white bow tie up there. They annoy me a little bit because of this label not being well centered. It's got this big black thick banner here and then a smaller banner the rest of the way around. I figure if you're a grading company, you should actually make that look centered, given that's one of your major grading components. So it kind of annoys me. It's quite a solid case though. I like it from a sturdiness point of view. It's definitely better than PSAs. But as we all know, if you've been watching the previous videos, I'm not a fan. So quite a collectible card, not worth much. I'm going to put some of these values up on this side over here. I don't know them all off the top of my head. With regard to raw versus this being graded a 10, it's well worth having it graded. I would imagine if it got a 9, then it's probably not worth getting graded. I'm going to put all these kind of values up here for you to keep this educational rather than just about Caitlin Clark, but nice card nonetheless. Bowman First card. So again, university type college stuff here. Again, SGC 10. I'll put all these values up. Again, quite a iconic, I guess, Nilly card. It is always better for value with these cards if you get the what they call the parallels of them, which is basically a numbered version of it, or maybe a different type of surface on it. So they do silver refractors, and they'll do ice and shimmers and one-of-one cards, which this one-of-one card, if it did come out with a one-of-one, I imagine it did, I would imagine it probably sold in the $5,000 to $10,000 bracket, and it's probably worth even more than that now. Some of the values of Caitlin Clark cards has gone down, mainly because she's been injured. Here we go. We've got a double one here. We'll get through these two. So these two are a bit of a pair out of a Prism set, bit of a chase card. They call this an insert card. So there was two of these. It's kind of cool they both got 9.5s. It'd obviously be cooler if they got 10s. I do like that they are the same grade. It would maybe look a little bit stranger if they were a 9 versus a 10. I'd probably then feel obliged to keep chasing and getting the 10. I don't mind the fact that they're both 9.5s though. I don't think Kel's upset at all with that. This is one I do recall pulling this one out of a pack. I didn't think it'd get a 9.5 from memory. I got it graded because I thought it was probably a 9, therefore worth getting and keeping just because I pulled it. Got it graded. Obviously, we handball these things over to Kel when we get them. She does really like this set of cards. And then one that we got her very recently, Rookie of the Year card. These sorts of cards aren't worth a lot. They're again a production based on her getting an award, so it's not like you pull it out of a pack. You literally just order this card. I can imagine that I think I paid about $20 for a couple of these that were just raw. This one has managed to get itself a BGS Pristine 10. So this is one grade higher than a Gem Mint. You can see the subgrades there. 10 for centering, 10 for cornering, 10 for surface. The edge let it down by half a point. Otherwise, that bad boy would have been a black label and worth way more than what I paid for it. So I thought that was really cool that it's a Rookie of the Year card. They unfortunately don't go for much. They're not really sought after, the Rookie of the Year cards, but I knew Kel would like it because she's just a massive fan and obviously loves to recognise that she was a Rookie of the Year. And that is the highest grade card I have ever purchased. So I really do like that one. So what we've got after that is a few that we've still got to send off for grading. So this is an instant card. So these are again a production card. It's a rookie card nonetheless. What's it symbolising? Clark next for career high 31 points. So it's obviously a card that recognises a particular game. So let's see what I think, because I do all this kind of analysis of the card under microscope to see what it gets. I think that one's going to get a perfect 10, so that might be worth sending to BGS as a crack at least a maybe like this card, a BGS Pristine 10, or maybe a black label. Gee, if you could get a black label, we'd be pretty pumped. I've never seen one in the flesh. So then these are actually ones, numbered ones, or we've got some repeats there. I'll save these ones. I'll talk about these ones in a minute. So we've got a repeat of one that we had graded there. I think this one could get a 9.5. One we haven't seen yet, a different brand of company, Select. Again, a 9.5, so well worth grading as a 9.5. I do think of whatever values I put up here, I am going to predict that they are going to go north. They are going to skyrocket over time. This is going to become quite an iconic women's basketball player, and also generally just player of basketball. Forget gender. This one's an 8. We probably won't get that one graded just yet, but we're not going to give it away. We'll hang on to that one because I think it's quite a classy looking card. Then we get into, these are a couple of weirdo ones. So she's one of only 3 athletes ever to get their own set of cards. In other words, you could actually buy Caitlin Clark boxes of cards to pull basically just Caitlin Clark. So this is actually, these 2 cards here have the little red border, which they don't normally have. It's normally just a plain white border, which I'm going to show you a whole set of these in a minute. These are a Target special. In America, Panini, no, this is Donruss Panini, I think it is. They have a contract with Target where they do a special Target card. So this red border is basically Americanism by Target. We can't get these in Australia. I bought these from America. So that's why they're like that. Don't know whether it creates a whole heap of extra value, but that one's a potential 10. And that one is no good at all. It's an 8, but we won't get rid of it. Kel won't let me. Now this one here, you can see it's got that little starry shimmer to it. It's got a nice little number here, which with these cards you get quite excited about. So even that's a high number. It's out of 299. They go for good money. So I'll put these prices up here. They're like, if this got a good grade, which let's hope it will when I turn this over. Look at that, potentially a 10. I've got on there 100 to 150 card. I probably looked at this card 3 or 4 months ago, so it'd be interesting what research I do today to see what that's actually worth. We've got another one here on the, I think they call this the Vortex. So we've got to find a number on it. The number's down here. Where do we got on that one? Looks like $3.99 that one, so it's a bit higher number. Again, it looks like a 10. I haven't predicted a price on that one, so again, I'll put that up on the screen for you. So these are all what I was talking about before, parallels to base cards. So this is another Vortex card. You see they've got the same shimmery pattern on them, so this one would also be out of $3.99. Depending on the card, what card someone wanted, you can see this one $160 to $200 card on that day. Despite the fact that it's a higher number card, you want the lower number cards. Quite hard to get. I've bought a few boxes of these. They're very expensive now. I probably won't be buying any more. Very, very expensive. Originally, these boxes were about $60 a box. Now they're up well over $100, $120 a box. If I can get some affordably, I will, and we will open them on this channel if I can get them. I'll probably have to get Kel in as an actual guest to help me open them. But they're quite cool. We'll put those values up on the screen for you. So at that point, we might tidy some of this up. And then we're going to have a little look, see at some of this set here, which this is a set I put together for Kel. This is the actual base set of the Caitlin Clark collection. I'm not sure if that's what it's called. But there are 50 cards in this collection. We put them all in these one-touch holders because it was just like, it's 50 cards. It's far too expensive to get them all graded. Maybe potentially we'll look at that at one day down the track, as I have a heap extra of these. They're over in a box over there. From extras that I've pulled, I haven't sold them off or anything. I've kept them there just in case we want to get them graded, and maybe I want to choose the better one out of the two. So I've got probably very close to another full set of these. But something we also sent away for, Panini and all the companies, when they do these one-touch holders, when they send you a card, they have a special kind of sticky label that holds it shut. I got these ones custom done. If you can see that there, it's got Caitlin Clark on the sticker. There was a company in America that did these for me. They were very excited to do it too. They hadn't thought of the idea, and they custom did that for me. So I thought that was kind of cool. So that's card number 1. I'll kind of rattle through these reasonably quickly. Try not to get them out of order because I'll have to put them back in order. Card number 2. Card number 3. So you'll see with these cards, I feel like it's out of order already. Oh no, it's a 4. Mostly action shots. There's what I personally think are a few weird pictures where it's of when she's younger or hanging out with friends and stuff like that. But overall, most of these cards, I would safely say 90% of these cards are quite decent action shots. I'll try and put some of the values, like maybe the raw values up there. They do come in, I think what would be a really cool set to put together of these is the silver border card. There is a card, I've got a few of them over in the box over there, where they do come with a silver border. I think they're simply called a silver. And with those, they're a little bit rarer, more expensive. These base set cards are a bit of a dime a dozen. They're not expensive to buy. They'll probably become more expensive. That's what I'm kind of budgeting on. Not that we bought these for the resale value, because I don't think Kel would sell these, but that is up to her. She can do what she wants. Championship cards. So that's that one we had as a special numbered parallel. So they literally just come from the base set when she was a kid. So here we end up in what I think are some of the ones that prefer all the action shots. But I know my wife, when she looked at these, she thought these were cute. There's little descriptions on the back, like if you're into all this history. I'm sure Kel's actually read it all. So that is coming up to 25 cards. Oi, I nearly dropped them. High school type photos, I think. COVID times, no doubt. They were fun. So yeah, then we end up into some of the slightly more rarer cards. So those other ones were base cards. These ones, I guess, are the insert cards. There are highlights label these ones. So I don't think these cards are necessarily more expensive. I think we've got a parallel of that one. Again, highlights. For those who haven't seen this set, it's a pretty cool set. For someone that hasn't been in the competition for very long, to get this honour of your own kind of card. These cards are a little bit more sought after, the season ticket cards. I did know like there was like 4 of one type of insert and 8 of another one, and it was all fairly kind of predictable when I was right into kind of putting these sorts of things together. The reigning 3 cards are quite popular because she's a big 3-point shooter from way outside 3-point line as well. Again, some of these inserts, as we get into some of the less numbered ones, are a little more expensive, but I would imagine, like, I'll take a guess and see how close I go. Those first off base cards that we looked at, the first 25, you can probably pick them up for a couple of bucks each, maybe even not that much. These insert cards that I've shown so far probably bump up maybe to $4 or $5 or $6 each, maybe $10 tops. I think maybe the last couple of these are a little bit more sorted. There's literally 2 kind of cool ones at the end, and I've just seen them, and now I've realised they're a bit weird. They're a cereal box one, Crunch Time. But yeah, if you got these ones with the symbol, the silver edge, then they would be something that's a little bit more expensive, because those silver edges are a lot more expensive. So there's a kind of a full card collection. We've got the whole collection of base Caitlin Clark cards and then a few other special inserts. We're basically really hanging on getting an autograph card for this set for Kel. Maybe even adding a signed Guernsey to this would be pretty cool. But those sorts of things, like a Caitlin Clark auto, as much as her value is down, the autos have stayed fairly high, and a Caitlin Clark auto card's probably going to set you back the best part of 1,500 plus, maybe even more than that. $3,000 if they get numbered, they get way up there. She did break the record for the highest selling sports card for a female. Might even try and put that card up on there for you. I don't know the deets off the top of my head. I believe it was around 180,000, but don't quote me. I'll put it up there. I'll put the pressure on me to make sure I do that. So we might pause the video there for a sec, and I'm going to put got a little surprise for you of something a little bit different, not just cards, something a bit more collectible. Give me 1 minute and I'll clean this mess up. Okay, welcome back. We've cleaned up from the cards in that box. Lovely secure case there to keep all Kel's cards. That's lots of C's and K's, isn't it? What we've got in this bad boy is a very different collection of basically magazines. So what Kel has basically embarked upon here is to get every magazine cover, or the magazine, not just the cover, that Caitlin Clark has actually been on the cover of. So here we go. This is actually Caitlin Clark's magazine. Her own, I won't say she produced it, but it is a magazine basically just for her. So these are actually becoming an increasing popularity with regard to collectors. So something like this one that has the barcode on it means it was actually bought at a newsstand. So these sorts of magazines you can actually get, and we probably have one later I'll be able to show you. They'll actually have like a mail-out logo on them. Those ones are not worth anywhere near as much as these ones that actually have a barcode on them. So they were actually bought from a newsstand. Apparently they're rarer, therefore worth a little more. But each of these magazines, just to give you a bit of an idea, I won't bother putting anything up on the screen here because there's no database for these. Depending on the magazine, they're probably anything from $20 to $50 each. I've put them in these specialised magazine protecting sleeves. So Kel is well within her rights to open these up and read them if she wants. It doesn't look like she has. She's very keen to protect them. So there's a Caitlin Clark magazine special. Next one is a Time magazine cover. Pretty good for an athlete, any athlete to get on a Time magazine cover there. We've got one here with a faux, Angel Reese. This Rise magazine, very much an American production. I've never seen that in Australia. I believe it's a Rise means like empowering women, so it's a women's magazine there. So hence these two are on the front cover. One of my personal favourites, if I had to have one in my collection, it would probably be this one, the Time Athlete of the Year. We've got something a bit more special regarding this one coming up right at the end of the video. Athlon Sports. This is a Rookie of the Year commemorative piece. Nice looking magazine. Another Rise production there. This next one, Slam, quite an iconic basketball magazine. She's been on this one two or three times, I think. We've got two of them. When I say we, I mean Kel. There is one more to get. This particular magazine does a collector's version of this. They do an orange cover and a gold cover. The orange cover, don't quote me, but I think it's numbered to like 864 or some weird number like that. And then the gold cover is numbered to 99. That one is worth a pretty penny, like well over $1,000 for that gold one. So they're on the list of possibilities one day. I think if we were spending that sort of money, we'd prefer an auto, I would have to think. So we've got a couple of these Slam magazines, none of the numbered ones. And the final, or the second to last one here, an ESPN magazine there. So she's been on a few covers. I've got a list of the ones that we don't have. We'll fill this collection up later. So pretty specialized box, this one. Like we bought this box especially for this set. It's very well protected. This is going to be the hard one to video. This is actually a graded magazine. If we look at that, PSA, company I'm not overly fond of. BGS does these graded covers as well. This is a crazy protective case. Like, it is thick. I don't think they're even that expensive to grade. Like, in comparison to grading a sports card, this case is spectacular. How they grade a magazine, I do not know. This one got a 9.2. I can see some edge damage to a corner. Generally, it looks pretty good. I have seen better grades, like 9.2s. I've never seen a 10. I'm sure they exist. But yeah, Athlete of the Year. I like the idea of these protective cases, especially for the magazine, rather than just the plastic sleeves that I've put it in. So yeah, therefore something a little bit different. We'll probably look down the barrel of trying to get some more of these graded down the track, whether we go through PSA or Beckett, I'm not 100% sure. I think even CGC might do some of these. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. I do like the cover. I do like the extra protection it gets. We do try and look after our collectibles. You can see all the cases and the plastic and all of that. So anyway, there's a little deep dive into a Caitlin Clark collection. That is not mine, like I said, but I do like this collection. I think it's very well put together. Anyway, we'll see you for the next one. Thank you for tuning in.